Hello and a very good everyone. So today we will learn to understand what is debt EBITDA ratio. So right now what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you about debt EBITDA ratio. So debt EBITDA ratio basically will give us an understanding that how many years it will take for the company or the project or the particular individual, how many years it will take for the entity to cover the debt payment. So basically debt EBITDA is a ratio that gives us an understanding that how many years it will take for the entity, the company, the project to cover the debt payment. So to understand this context, let me just give an example. So for example here, you have a salary. Okay, so here you have a salary and here you have the debt. So just say the salary is about 4,700. And then when you buy a car or you buy a house, so you have a debt. So in this case, let me put a debt. Just say you buy a house, a double-story house, and this is the cost of the house. So debt EBITDA basically tells us how many years it will take for us to complete our debt payment. So in this case, this is our monthly salary. So let me just convert this to annual salary. So the annual salary is about 56,000. And then over here, this is the debt payment. So just let me just show it in a better way. So debt EBITDA basically tells us is the debt divided with the EBITDA. So that means it could be the long-term debt or it could be the total debt, which includes the short-term debt as well. So in this case, if just say I divide the debt divided by the salary, so you take about at least 9 years or 9 years roughly to fully utilize our salary to cover the debt payment. So basically, it will take about 9 years for us to cover the debt payment. But when you talk about debt EBITDA, you have to remember one thing. This debt, it includes the long-term debt and sometimes they will also include the short-term debt as well, which matures within 1 year and so on. And then in company, there is no such thing called salary. Of course, salary is a part of an expenses. For an individual, it's a income. But for company, they have revenue, they have gross profit, they have EBITDA. So in the context of company, what it is used is, it is the total debt divided by the EBITDA. So in this case, the bankers, the lenders, they will try to determine that how many years that particular entity will take to cover the debt payment. And when you're talking about a debt payment, we are not talking just about the debt. We are also talking about the principal and the interest. The principal and interest. So to give another better understanding so that you can understand what is debt EBITDA. So just say the total debt is basically, total debt is about just say 100 million. Okay, so let me just put 6 zeros. Okay, so the total debt is 100 million. And then you have the EBITDA, which is about 25 million. Okay, so right now in this case, we want to know what is the debt EBITDA ratio. So basically in this case is it will take about at least 4 years for us to fully utilize our EBITDA to cover our total debt. So what is debt EBITDA? Debt EBITDA is how many years it will take for the entity to cover the debt payment. So the lesser number of years it taken, it will be better because the lender and the banker, they want to know that how many years it will take to cover the debt payment. So if the lesser the years, it's good for the lender, but if it's longer, then it's more riskier and dangerous.